Go.
Hi, welcome to Fabric Chicks at Noon. We are here live daily, Monday through Friday, at noon or thereabouts, as close as we can get organized to that. We just want to say thank you so much to all of you who have been supporting us. It has been really a blessing. So I kind of think that I sound like a used car salesman because every time I talk to you ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to sell you something, but that's the only way I'm going to be able to keep my doors open. So here we are for another little sales spiel, and I'm going to teach you how to put on a flange binding. For those of you who were here with us on Friday and saw the little snafu of the ruler slipping, it's a good lesson. Measure twice. Always measure twice, cut once, and then measure again. Even after you cut, measure again, because it still could be wrong. So here is how I want to say it's, I'm trying to find where it was that we messed up. It must not have been this one. Because there is a little bit of see here, getting close. So see how when we measured it, it was a ½ inch too big because the ruler slipped. So I do have that little bit of a pucker right there. So in the whole scheme of things, when it's hanging on your wall, you're never gonna see it. I could have gone back and cut it again after you guys weren't watching me. The pressure of doing everything online is so overwhelming. But no, I could have gone back and fixed it. But in the whole scheme of things, when it's hanging on your wall, you're never going to see that. So I hope you learned my lesson. It's always better to learn lessons through somebody else's mistakes. So that is the hen and rooster. We do have the kits available. The kits are available. It makes both the hen and the rooster. See that? With all the supplies in there. I don't know. It didn't get a price tag, so I don't know how much. I think $34.95. Hey, Gracie, are you doing,
Wait.
Yeah.
Is your computer up?
Yeah.
I
So,
thought we couldn't sign in.
no. Oh, you can't, you can sign into Fabric Chicks website, back door of it, not the admin part, but you can sign in to www.fabricchicks.com and our Facebook. Whoa, look at it. She was slacking. She's actually trying to get the mail ready because she came in this morning and had so many, wait, here, let's just go on a tour of all our internet. So look at, these are all orders ready. These are all boxes and things ready to go to the post office. And then here's our pickup line. And then here is more in here waiting to go. So Gracie's trying to get that ready. The hen and rooster, that's all I talked about so far.
Oh, that's the one that I haven't put in a category.
Oh, okay. So Gracie's pretty much teaching herself how to put things onto the website. So she'll get that fixed. She learned a little trick this morning. So she'll get that fixed. Anyhow, you can always call us. If the phone's busy, just call back later. 775-267-0204 or my personal cell phone, which I hate to give out. So only use it if you can't get through on the shop phone, 510-967-3441. So anyhow, Devin, what are you doing?
My ear's itchy.
His ear, he's like picking at his ear. It's not distracting at all to watch what teenage boys do. Anyway, so the hen and rooster, this is like the final time for this. So if you have any questions.
Sideways.
Oh.
You should know that.
Devin's like it's sideways. So we're going to move on because we have the new sample. We have it kitted. It's ready to go to the next show. So we're going to move on from this. And that's kind of how it's going to be on the Facebook Lives. Although tomorrow we're going to be doing a fun interview with Lorraine Turner. We're going to be talking about her new polar bear pattern. And if you have any questions of Lorraine Turner that you'd like to ask, let us know. Or you can type them in, or you could even phone call. We might take a live phone call Well, maybe not, because you girls might be inappropriate. Or maybe so. Who cares? Anyhow, so that's that with the hen and chicken. It's a pattern written and designed by Virginia Robertson. Now we're going to go, since we're in kind of a chicky mood. We've done chicken panels all last week and different
Cindy
chicken.
Thompson said hi.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? All right, Cindy, think of some new ideas. Okay, so we are going to be making a new sample. See our little sample here? He's getting kind of tired and haggard. So periodically we have to go through the shop and make new samples. His little beads are falling off. I could repair him, but I don't have the fabric to kit him. And everybody wants the kit because they want it to look just like this. What?
Chicken shingle.
Chicken shaman.
I was close.
He's the Chicken Shaman. It's by Eleanor Peace Bailey. He's somewhere between dinner, chicken noodle soup, or wise man, a shaman. Anyhow, so we do have, and I mean to keep Devin in his spare time is supposed to put this on our big screen and see if we play it.
Okay.
Oh, it would have to be through that computer because that's the, you know what? Modern technology nowadays.
Or you could plug up a DVD player.
You could. Do you have
That's
one?
Crazy. You have several at home that you don't use.
Oh, okay. So if you could get that set up for me, my technical employee, that would be great. So we're going to try to figure out how to put this on so you guys can get little snippets of it. But it's a great DVD. Gracie's going to link it. I think it's $29.95.
Is there a name for that?
Eleanor Peace Bailey presents Doll Making Basics. There's a great section in here on painting faces also. But we're going to be having visits from Eleanor Peace Bailey doing faces if we can get her to. And Virginia Robertson definitely said yes. So we're just trying to figure out the logistics and how we can film them while we're interviewing them. Anyhow, so the chicken shaman, we're making a new sample. And
Oh, it's on her quilt kit. That's
so over here are my pieces that I've picked out. So we're doing, we've invested heavily in this batik line that you girls got with your a gathering kit. So we're gonna have a whole section of Island Batik's tweet fabrics. Well, we already have a whole section, but in June we're gonna have a ton more. So anyhow, Devin cut this out, so it's kind of a little bit of an interesting pile. So here's
What's that supposed to mean?
so here's my chicken body. I need to cut out a beak, so I haven't gotten that far, but I'm going to cut out the beak. I'm going to satin stitch it on. So it's going to be probably yellow. It's going to go satin stitched right here. And then this is my comb. It's already stitched around, if you can see it. It's stitched around. I just need to turn it inside out. But we do not know where our turn it all tools are. So that's, maybe I'll just order new ones. Isn't that how it always goes? You just order new things. Then these are my chicken thighs right here. Can you see them, Devin?
Mm-hmm.
My chicken thighs. So all this just needs to be turned inside out. I've got chicken feet here and chicken legs. I did.
Oh, hold on. How about showing how to make confetti in a project?
Oh, confetti would be fun. Is that Cindy?
Mm-hmm.
Cindy, we are gonna do like one landscape technique a week, I think. So confetti is on the list. The problem, Cindy, is that a lot of our viewers are traditional sewers, so they don't always want to learn landscape or artsy techniques. So we're trying to and I'm not a piecer. By nature, I'm not a piecer because I just don't have the time to sit down and sew. But we're trying to do different techniques for everything. So anyways, this is what my claw looks like. My chicken feet are going to look like this. I did it out of a canvas just because I like this old serape looking fabric. So I did have to throw in a little bit of canvas with the batiks. I pretty much can never keep it virgin, all batik, or all this or all that. I always got to throw something in just to... And then this is going to be the gusset. Gussets are the trickiest part, in my opinion, of making a doll. But this is a pretty easy one. But it just is a gusset's what gives you width So a lot of times the gussets will be the butt part because it's wider than, it's what makes it takes the doll from a flat form to more of a dimensional form. So this is the gusset right here. It just has to be eased in, but you can see how it's smaller here and then wider here for his little tummy. So we will demo putting in the gusset when we get to that point, when we can find our Turn-It-All tools. I do have, actually, yesterday, I have pieces of it. Go to BarbaraWillis.com, BarbaraWillisDesigns.com, and pick up a stuffing fork. If you do any kind of doll making at all, I have had this stuffing fork for probably 30 years. It still works beautifully. It has a little, I don't know if you can see it up close. People always tell me, just use a chopstick. But see how it's got that notch there? That is, you put your stuffing in your hand and you twist like this, and it just wraps right up on here, and then you can put it into the position you want it inside of your animal or doll. And, if any of you are interested in doing a mohair bear, let me know, because Virginia Robertson said she would put together kits with the mohair and the pattern, and then we'll do a Zoom class. So if you're interested in doing a mohair doll, let us know, like ASAP. Otherwise, go follow. If you're not following Virginia Robertson, go follow her. She is posting on Facebook, Virginia Robertson, maybe Virginia Robertson Designs, but I think it's just Virginia Robertson. She's cleaning out right now, and she's posting some amazing deals. So you can get some great deals on her Facebook page. I don't know if she's also posting it on her website. She might be, but I know I saw it on Facebook. Okay, so today the little tutorial of the chicken shaman is going to be, and the chicken shaman is a pattern. So you can get the pattern for $10.95. Gracie's going to have it.
I think I already
She already linked it. She's one step ahead of me. She's such a good kid. The chicken shaman pattern. As soon as I get the sample made, then we will have kits also. So if you want to hold on, don't call me today and ask me how much the kit is or where the kit is or how you can order the kit, because the kit is still in my brain. So this is a chicken wing already done. This is the pattern, and I took a pattern that was all scrunched up because I didn't want to sell it, but I taped it back together and used it as my pattern because I could never throw anything away.
Offer a kit for the mystery quilt.
What mystery quilt? The mystery quilt we haven't decided to do yet?
That's why it's a mystery.
It's a mystery to me. Okay, let me know. Who said it?
Sandy.
Cindy, let me know what the mystery quilt is. And have you done, Cindy, have you done any of your blocks from His Majesty's tree? We want to see what it looks like. Okay, so I have taken 2 pieces of batting and the 2 pieces of my fabric. Okay, so 2 pieces of batting, and it says it right on your pattern. For your wing, you're going to cut 4 of fleece or batting and 4 of your wing. So 2 of the fleece and 2 of the wings here, so you can have a right and a left. So when you're going to turn something...
Oh, read the above comment.
What above comment?
Hold on, go.
Devin has a hard time keeping up. Okay, so
Wait,
I
what?
already
What is
went
that?
into the corners.
Hold on. I'm confused.
Okay, Devin's confused. Okay, let's slow down. Let's take it at
don't see an
16-year-old
above one.
boy speed.
I don't see one.
Yeah, I don't see one either. She's tripping. Never mind.
Cindy, they don't see your comment. Did it go somewhere else? Maybe you've been banned on Facebook again. I don't know. No, you got some good points on Facebook. Anyhow, so I already clipped the inside curves of my wings, okay? And I probably would prefer to have the medium size Turn-It-All, which is blue, but since we can't find it, you got to make do with what you got. Okay, so I'm going to put this into here, and I'm going to hope, I know it's live on Facebook, so I'm hoping I stitched around and caught all of my edges. But I'm going to Are you getting in close? So you see I'm turning one finger at a time.
Devin, did you correct her spelling on your name?
Okay. So, and Cindy Gygax, I'm hoping you're listening. I hope you're feeling better. She was in the hospital, but not because of COVID, just because of life and things happen. But we hope that you are sent home very soon. We love you.
Phyllis said, "Hi, Beth. I have my chicken shaman that I made in your class.
Oh,
I'm happy to share it with you."
yeah, post a picture so we can see it, Phyllis.
Lynn said, "Hello, gang."
Lynn Jenkins or Bonner?
Yes.
Okay. I keep telling, hi Lynn, I keep telling Devin he has to tell me everybody who's watching so that I know if I need to clean up my act or if I need to be nervous or, you know, whatever. But he won't. He refuses. He flat refuses. But we'll see. Maybe I'll beat him into it. Anyways, okay, are you watching? This is the last finger. Remember, see here the pattern? There were 4 fingers or wing tips. So you have to go individually. If you try to just turn this without turning your
Too many hand movements when I'm close, Mom.
skinny parts, it's not going to work. You're going to be frustrated. So turn each of those fingers, and then you're not trying to. People call me all the time, and they say, I've stuffed all the fabric in there, and I can't get it to turn.
You're making me dizzy. Stop telling.
Okay. So you see that? All of my fingers are inside there. Now I just have to turn the whole thing. And I'm not stuffing it into the tube. Okay? Do not stuff your project. Oh, shit. I mean, shoot. I just poked a hole through it. Don't laugh. This is hard. This is hard without the pressure of Facebook. I hope I didn't rip my main fabric. And you know what? When I was doing this yesterday with the other wing, I totally said, this is too hard to do live on Facebook. And then I thought, you guys will never learn if you don't learn from my mistakes.
What tool are you using? The Turn It All.
The Turn It All, which I think it's either been put away in the wrong place in the shop, or it might have been packed. So we were totally packed for the Sacramento show, and not everything has gotten unpacked again. So I'm sure if a doll expert was doing this, I'm sure if a doll expert was doing this, it would be a lot easier. But, so you see my little fingers there? See how they look kind of funky, like a little crone's finger hand?
Chickens don't have fingers.
They're wing tips.
I'm just saying, it does not look like that.
No, but it will, because see, look it. This is the in-between stage. You know how everything is awkward, like teenagers in between?
Well, why is that so skinny?
Because see, look it.
Okay, well, why isn't that one skinny?
See?
What happened?
Why is that one so much bigger than it?
Hands
Because
picture rips closed.
Oh, I don't think it even, because it's a batik, I don't even think it actually ripped through. Look it, you won't even see it. Right there, that tiny little snag. You'll never see it. I'm going to put it on the inside of him. Look, I'm going to make this his wing on this side so that you won't ever see it. So anyways, that's how you turn a wing. It's not hard. Nothing in life is hard. Maybe just time consuming. Then I would go through here.
Just don't rip it.
I'm trying not to rip it. The pressure of online is so tough. Okay, so you're just going to push out your seam without pushing it all the way out. What happened,
So
Gracie?
you haven't eaten chicken fingers?
Yeah.
They said chickens don't have fingers.
Oh, truth. They live on chicken fingers.
I don't think I've ever eaten chicken fingers.
At McDonald's, you've never had chicken
Yeah,
fingers?
those
Oh,
are
chicken
chicken
nuggets.
nuggets.
They're different than fingers.
But Cane's is chicken fingers.
Oh,
I've never eaten those.
you haven't?
Chicken tenders are chicken fingers.
Yeah.
No, they are not.
Yes,
they Yes,
One's
yes.
fat and one's long.
What?
I think it just depends on where you're shopping.
You're
Okay,
weird.
so then you're just going to want to gently push it out here to get the bulk of your finger twist shoved out there. Okay? So then when you top stitch it, can you see the lines there? I used a gray so that you'd be able to see it. I probably typically would maybe use a black just because it disappear into the fabric. This here is lesson 1 on how to make a chicken shaman. Okay? That's all we got for now. Tomorrow, I'm going to...
that, and then his goes in.
Oh my... I made both of these chickens. They're the exact same.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll show you, maybe, we might be busy tomorrow. We are interviewing Lorraine Turner from Lorraine Turner. I think gosh, everybody always has different names for their websites and their Facebook and their Instagram. But I think it's Lorraine Turner's Textile Art is her Facebook page. Go on there and like. What time is it her time? 1 o'clock her time. So I think 10 o'clock Pacific time. Every Tuesday is Tuesday with Turner, and she does a live video. You can ask her questions. She shows different processes of her artwork. So she talks about how to make ocean waves and how to, usually she features a piece, textile piece, and kind of goes over what products she used to create the different effects. So that's always really, really educational if you're into artsy quilts. But she does have a fun one coming up. I can't spill the beans, but just keep your eyes open for a boy quilt. Anyhow, so
Give away.
Panel of the day.
Panel of the day is. Did you guys not like Gracie's email this morning?
Why? I never get no credit.
7-2.
Do it.
Gracie's email, you couldn't even read it.
So the emails have been left up to the teenagers. So who knows if they're appropriate or not. Anyhow, this is the panel of the day is up here, and I think that Gracie didn't know how to push it to the sale to Facebook. So we're in the process of trying to push it to Facebook, and it looks like we have 2 pieces of the coordinating fabric left. So I don't think she linked this because it probably, once we get down to just a little bit of a fabric, we take it offline so that we don't sell it at a show. So if you're interested, there's a 1-yard piece, a 1/2 yard piece, and a 1 7/8 piece. So if you're interested in this cute fabric, it coordinates with, it's the companion Go With It fabrics for the dog panel that's 50% off. So today, our other lesson is flange binding. So I hope you learned a lesson of what to do. Do not let your ruler slip.
I want that doggy in the window.
On it today.
Okay, who is that?
Cindy Thompson.
Okay, does she want the coordinates too? Okay, so these. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these scrap bags from Moda.
I will.
They are $23.95, and here's an open one.
Alrighty.
It's all wool. They're all different scraps. So look at how fun these are. What is it, Grace?
She said, or Cindy said yes
How
to
much is
the
the dog panel?
So
coordinating.
you see all this fun wool? If you need to add to your wool scrap, I don't think these are on the website, Gracie, but it's Moda's wool scrap bags. So we have a few of those, $23.95 in case you need that.
How much was the dog in the window?
$6.75 for the panel, and then the coordinating fabrics are $13.49 a yard, I believe. Okay, so now our lesson of today. Okay, the lesson for today. Remember on Friday I showed you how to do regular binding. So today our lesson is, can you see this flange binding? So flange binding is where you sew your binding to another piece of fabric. I think, I meant to write this down for you. Just Google flange binding, but I think it was 1 3/4 and 1 1/2. 1 1/2 and 1 3/4, I think. And then you stitch them down. So I love to do flange bindings, one, because it's all by machine, so it's quicker. And two, I love that little accent piece. So here is, here's the flange. So I took the two pieces and I stitched them at a 1/4 inch down. And then you iron it so that they're level here. Sorry. So you get that little flange, okay? You want the two raw edges to line up with the wrong side inside. Just like if you're doing a regular binding, but you've just made it 2 pieces, okay? So when you iron it, you still want the raw edges to line up, which will give you that little bit of a flange, okay? Anybody got questions so far? So I did the same thing as last week. I sewed all the way to a corner. So on this, let me think about this. Now I'm out of my sink. So this is here. This is one of my favorite fabrics of all time. We do have it as a wide back. It's just got some great sayings. My sister left an envelope with some scratch words on it like 10 years ago at the shop. She just left it, I don't know, random. Forgot to take it. But it had this saying on it, which has become one of my favorite sayings. And the day came when the risk it took to remain tight in the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. By Anise Nin. That's still to this day one of my favorite sayings. So, okay, so on to other things. Here we are. So we're attaching your binding. And so I started over here, right? I started here. I left my tail. Okay, so here's my tail not stitched. And I already stitched it down by machine just because I was trying to get ahead of you so you wouldn't be so bored. But so you're going to stitch it at a 1/4 inch. So I went all the way around my quilt, and here I am. Okay, it's a little bit trickier because I did stitch it down right up to it. Gracie.
That's a good question for you, Mom.
What's the question?
Is there a reason why you don't use the Eversew machine since you sell them?
Yes, because I have one at my house that I use every day, and because somebody bought the other one that I was using here, and I just haven't reordered them. But I do have I like the pink ones, but so my favorite one is the pink one, which I have at the house, and I use it every day because it makes me happy. I'll have to take a picture and post it. And the other one,
I have to keep an old piece of the flange binding hanging inside my cabinet so I can remember the size needed for both sides.
yes.
I'm sure there's a formula.
There is a formula. The flangey part has to be a 1/4 inch bigger than whatever you cut the other side. So if you like your bindings bigger, like if you want a 3-inch binding instead of 2.5 inch, then you would just figure out and make your, I look at right now, I wish I had my Eversew because it has a sewing, it has a cutting mechanism, which I love. I took apart somebody else's machine the other day, because her machine wasn't working right, but it actually was just not threaded right. So I took it apart, and it was fascinating to watch the cutter in action. Like, you never really see the cutter working because it's enclosed, so you don't cut off your finger. Okay, so did you guys see that? You get to a corner, you stop 1/4 inch before you get to the end. Then you're going to take your binding, fold it back. I'm going to get out an Eversew. I'm going to bring mine from home, and then I'll be sad I can't, because I really do most of my sewing at home. And so,
Anna Simpson said I think.
Hi, Anna Simpson. Thank you. We're still surviving on chocolates. If we didn't have chocolates, we might starve here. Okay. So then we're going to stitch to here. And I always sew with my needle down, so when I stop, it doesn't slip like my ruler slipped on Friday. But don't worry, you're going to be able to watch me with the ruler again. If any of you see my ruler slip, holler. Don't let me do that again. Okay, then I'm going to stop here. And I wish I had a cutting feature on this machine. This machine here, though, has seen many days with me. This was the first machines that I bought. I bought 3 of them for the shop when I first opened like 13 years ago. Okay, so we're going to bring this to the cutting board. And remember, if the ruler slips, holler. Okay, so and I'm not even sure with this combination that it told me to cut when I Googled it, how wide this is. So I'm just going to measure this just to double check. So it looks like it's 2.5 inches. So I'm going to put this, lay down your first tail that you started with, lay down your second tail, fold it back, and then
Phyllis said 1 5/8 inches and 1 3/8 inches for 2.5 inch binding.
Okay, perfect. I knew there was somebody smarter than me out there. Okay, so don't let this move. Look, really fine scissors once again. Well, they keep them around because they cut this ribbon, but then that's the only thing I can find when I need it. Okay, so I'm just going to remeasure this before we...
There's a suitcase at our back door. It has a sign in it.
There's yeah, for mask donations. Okay, so then I'm going to put this here again. And 2.5. So I think we're good to go this time. And then I'm just going to rip out a little bit because I sewed too close to my other piece. But the reason that I did that instead of cutting this is because it never fails. See how the seam is here? The bulk of the seam? I didn't want to have to mess with that. So to get rid of that, I just sewed that way. Okay. Phyllis, you should be really good at doing... well, Phyllis who? Phyllis Holmes or?
Yes.
Not you, Phyllis. The other Phyllis. I wish everyone would say like names so I know who I'm talking
I
to.
did say names. I said Phyllis.
I know, but we have 2 Phyllises. So the other Phyllis has done like 20 donation quilts. So she's probably pretty good at bindings right about now. Okay, so you're gonna take pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Look right here at my hands. So here's my 2 ends, right? You're going to take them right sides together, like this, okay? And typically I wouldn't pin it. I would just eyeball it and hope for the best. But you know how that goes when you're live on Facebook. Okay, anybody have anything interesting happening at home? Any stories to share? Anybody got big plans for when you're let out of the house?
Going to school.
Gracie can't hardly wait. She's got 2 things in her life she'd like to resume. School, which I never thought a kid of mine would say, and getting her nails done.
Oh, yes.
And she's called to make an appointment for the first available date, but she hasn't had a call back, so.
I want a haircut.
Oh, hey, I got some scissors. I got some really fine scissors over there. Cuts ribbon, great. Okay, so you're going to take this up here, and you're going to sew at a 45-degree angle. Remember how I showed you the other day? If you just kind of say, okay, I'm going to sew this here, then it will flip like that. That'll be going the right direction. If you sewed it from this angle here, then it'd be going like that, and you know it's the wrong angle. So just kind of some tips I usually do before I stitch, because sometimes you're sidetracked watching romance novels or whatever, and you sew it the wrong direction. It's really not a big deal. Just rip it out. Nothing we do is a big deal, okay, girls? All right. You can take your ruler and your chalk marker and mark it if you want it to be perfect. But I can't seem to see that line anyways.
Are you going to interview Quilting Cowboy?
Yes.
They're joining that just to look at him.
I haven't honestly, we are so far behind on everything. Like this having to do business all different, like all morning we were delivering curbside. So we haven't really gotten into the sync of how we have to do business nowadays. So as soon as we get our acts together, I think we've got to get the fabric line on, get it linked. I'm not really sure. Then I'll call Dale. He actually was supposed to be here for a retreat in August, but then we never hashed that out because
You say Dale like they know.
Dale, the quilting cowboy.
Okay, there you go.
If you do not know who the quilting cowboy is, you should go on his Facebook page, his Instagram page. He is hilarious. He does a ton of fun tutorials and free patterns, and I want to make his mice. He's got some little cute stuffed mice.
I swear.
He has some really fun stuff. So if I was at home, I probably would go to the iron and iron that. But since you girls have other things to do, I hear you're really busy. And I really didn't look to make sure it lined up perfectly. But you've got the measurements. And then I'll show you a couple of flange bindings that are throughout the shop. Okay, so now it's attached to the back side. So I'm gonna pull it to the front side. Gracie, can you look? I had tucked the thread that I was sewing it with in it, but it's not here. It's the problem with going back and forth from home and the shop sewing that my supply, no, it's like a gray fabric, a gray thread.
I'm over here.
Can you deal with it? She's doing
Yeah, no.
links.
I was just wondering if we use somebody else that was coming.
People are coming all day to do curbside pickup. Okay, so we're gonna sew it with black. You'll never know. Just think of maybe you ran out of thread. You gotta improvise, okay? Okay, so here is my binding. So you would pull it over to the front side, and you can see that the flange is right here. So I was stitching when I was doing it with the gray thread. I was actually trying to stay right here on the lighter fabric, just because my thread, if I fell off, well, I didn't fall off. I'm sure at some point. It was a little bit lighter than the dark gray, so I didn't like the way it looked. So I tried to keep my stitching here in the white. But in this, because I now have black thread, it might look better like right in between there. Okay, so can you see that? So you're just gonna finish and then I did not line mine up very good here. Oh, there's so many threads. And you could use, if you had a stiletto, you could use a stiletto. So this was a fun pattern that I did by Rusty Crow, Sean York. Rusty Crow, if you need pearl cotton threads, she's like the main distributor. She ships same day. She's just a really good person. So Sean York, Rusty Barn. Oh, Gracie, I'm going to open that box. Let's open that box. Let's see what's in it.
I literally dragged it all the way over here, and now you want
Yeah.
to do that?
Yeah. Open it up quick. Okay, Gracie got UPS dropped off a box, so Gracie's going to open it for us. We can see if there's anything fabulous we can't live without. And I don't know if you girls are interested, but this fabric right here has just been discontinued. So if you need any of this fabric, this is like the last time you'll be able to get it. So, if you need that, it is called Ruth-C4711 from Timeless Treasures. Okay. And then I'm at a corner, so I'm going to take it and flip it back. Maybe, Phyllis Holmes, maybe one day when you want to venture out, you could come and demonstrate paper piecing or something fun. I promise to stay 6 feet away from you. Okay, so here I am at a corner, and I'm just going to flip it over at a 45-degree angle and see how that lines up. I'm not actually going to stitch it. I would stitch it right here. Sometimes it's real thick, so I actually have to lift the presser foot up, take a stitch, put the presser foot down, and until it can move on its own, because it's a lot of bulk there. But I don't want to sew black thread on the light part here to stitch that down. So I'm going to, only Gracie's got interfacing. It's the most prized thing right there. She could sell it for $1 million. But, yeah, but somebody's already bought that.
Oh.
What is this?
Oh, we've got some wool, some felted wool, and
That's probably
steamer seam. So we got steamer seam and muslin and
Sorry, guys,
some
that's
wool. That was kind of disappointing.
It was really disappointing.
So
Especially now that
disappointing.
Joe's already bought that.
So disappointing.
But now I can call like 12 people.
Well, so I ordered 6 bolts of the Pellon because people are ordering it by the bolt, but they shipped 1. And like a week after I ordered the 6 bolts, I ordered another 6 bolts. Yet we have 1. I think they're doling it out. They're trying to be fair and deal it out evenly between the quilt shops, because that's like about that and elastic are the main things we're selling right now. So, anyways, somebody asked what my favorite products are, so I'm gonna show you. Here, wine glasses, Stitch Happy, stitch a little, sip a little, or a lot. And then if you have a friend over, which I know you wouldn't have right now, you could get them their own wine glass. Do what you love what you do. And it's got bobbins, pincushion, scissors, sewing machine thread, needle. So those, I love those. And then the mister. I don't know if you have the misters yet. This one says, nothing like a little color therapy to brighten the day, or Iron Maiden. And friends don't let friends go to quilt shops alone. True story. So I think that's the 3 choices you have. If you don't have a mister yet, get one. Devin stole one so that he could put his hair product in it. Apparently hair product
It's
works.
water. There's definitely water in it.
Oh, that's all that's in there? Then I can
Yeah.
use it when I'm sewing. I thought it was hair product.
No, it's water.
Oh, okay. I might steal it back then. I thought he had junk in it. Anyhow, I put in here, I put my Material Magic, which I love. It's like a spray starch, but better. It's like a starch on steroids. So a lot of times I'll water it down. I'll dilute it a little bit. But if you treat your fabric with this, you can machine sew. So here, let me see. Right here, Devin, so this, you can see it's pretty stiff. I machine stitched the little decorative stitches. So right here, and there's no pucker and no stabilizer. So I even like it when I'm cutting out my fabric for piecing a quilt, because it will help so that you don't get frayed edges, your pieces don't stretch. It just, like, literally you could spray everything with it, and spray everything with your Material Magic, and it will just help your sewing be more accurate.
I have 2 of these misters. They are marvelous.
Who is it?
One is 50/50 Terrial and Best Press, Lynn Jenkins.
Do you put the Best Press in with your Cheerio Magic?
Yes, 50-50.
50-50 Cheerio Magic and Best Press? Or one is Best Press, one is Cheerio Magic? You're going to have to clarify.
It says one is 50-50 Cheerio and Best Press
Interesting.
in one bottle.
Interesting. How come you do that mixture? Curious minds want to know. And then if you need a gift, apparently this has been super popular. If you need a mug for your coffee in the morning or whatnot. So that's it. We're waiting 1 second for Lynn to answer if she actually puts Best Press in with Cheerio
She
Magic.
just said yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Did she say why?
Mom, it makes, I read it. It made perfect sense.
Did she say why she does it?
No.
Okay. All right, Lynn, answer why. Curious minds want to know. And then we do have the Fabric Chicks Stitch Along, which we haven't really done too much with just because it's been kind of crazy here. But we're hopefully going to start getting into this new routine. So, do we have any other questions or any comments?
Do you have any Pelion Stitch and Tear light?
I don't think it's light, but we do have Pelion Stitch and Tear. Let's see. What you doing, sis?
I'm getting an infinite order ready. Surprise.
Okay, I got Fuse and Tear 371, water solubles. I've got Stitch and Tear 806. That feels even thicker.
She said no real reason. Maybe I'll try water next time.
Okay. All right. Then. Oh, for the Best Press.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do water and Cheerio Magic. Because the Cheerio Magic is like a concentrate. It's really almost too thick. And so I like to put like 3/4 or so usually of the Cheerio Magic and then 1/4 water. And then if I need to, I can always spray it again. But usually one spray is good. If it's a big piece of fabric, I just dump it into a bowl and get everything wet. Okay, if you girls can think of anything else we need to share or anything else you saw here that you need to have or anything else you'd like for me to infomercial, let me know. Otherwise, have a safe Monday. Tune in tomorrow for Tuesday with Turner at 10 o'clock Pacific time. And then at 1 o'clock at noon, we'll be here for Fabric Chicks. All right. Have a good day. Stay